This is a free-form scenario where you can play the game at your own pace. The leadership of your fledgling tribe has fallen on your shoulders. The first task is to unify a new nation under your rule. You're free to build your nation at your own pace. Occasionally, you may receive advice to help keep things moving, but otherwise, it's all up to you. This is your scout. Use him to discover rare resources or locate the enemy position. Scouts are very fast and can see farther than most units, but cannot attack. You can move your scout around the map manually or click the Auto Explore button to have him explore on his own. Each city can support a maximum of 5 farms. Go ahead and build as many as you can. If you're running low on resources, you can always build farms to gather food and fill up woodcutters' camps with citizens to gather timber. To generate wealth, use markets and caravans to create trade routes between cities, or research taxation at a temple. Don't forget to conduct research at your library. Researching new technologies is vital to building your nation and advancing your people through the ages. If you want to see more of the map, you can always zoom in and out by using the mouse wheel or pressing page up and page down on the keyboard. Try building a temple in your capital to increase its defenses and expand your borders. First, you'll need to research written word on the yellow science track at the library. Then your citizens will be able to build a temple. Excellent work. You've captured an enemy city and have begun assimilating it into your nation. There are a number of paths to victory in Rise of Nations. In this scenario, there are 2 common ways to win. The first way involves having 70% or more of the territory under your control. You can check your current percentage in the bottom right corner of the screen. The second way to win involves capturing the enemy capital. In order to do this, build units at the barracks, stable, and siege factory and attack the enemy capital. Danger! The enemy has invaded your territory. You must drive them away as quickly as possible. Don't forget, you can protect your citizens by sounding the alarm bell at your city. It is 60 AD. The Romans have conquered Brighton. We must remove the Romans from the lands of Brighton. Lead Boadicea back to the city. You must select a unit before you can give it orders. Move the mouse over Boadicea and left-click. Well done. Good work, General. Apparently you don't need any help to conquer the Romans. Good luck. Congratulations. You've leveled the Roman camp, but it won't be long before they return with reinforcements. We'd best be ready. The vile Romans have launched a sneak attack against Brighton. We must go to her aid. Congratulations. You've fended off the evil Romans. 800 years after Boadicea rebelled against the Romans, Alfred suffers a stinging defeat when the Vikings attack Ethandun. The Norsemen loot the town, and Alfred is driven back to his stronghold at Carlisle. Alfred must rebuild his forces and attempt to retake Ethandun. The Vikings now control Ethandun. Before we can rally the nation, we must retake that city. Our first goal is to scout the Viking position and find a route for our attack. We need to keep watch on the Viking preparations and defenses. A lookout is needed as close to the Vikings as possible. This is a good spot for the lookout, close enough to see what's happening, but not so close that they'll notice it and attack. Now we'll learn how to construct new buildings. Citizens construct buildings. To build a lookout, first select this citizen. You've defeated the Vikings and recaptured Ethandun. Excellent work. Almost 500 years after Alfred defeats and absorbs the Vikings, Britain is we are to attack the French city of Compiègne. Unfortunately, the French have discovered our intent and have rallied an army of arquebusiers, a new type of foot troop that uses gunpowder. Our army is well trained, but is outnumbered by the French troops. There is no way we can defeat them if we immediately attack the city. In their hasty preparations to defend Compiègne, the French have left the city of Amiens undefended. We should attack and capture Amiens immediately. We can gather resources there to build our army, then defeat the French at Compiègne. This is your army. Their numbers may be few, but they should be able to take Amiens easily. Select your... When attacking cities or other buildings, it's useful to bring along siege units like trebuchets. They specialize in damaging buildings from a distance. Good job. Amiens is now under British rule. Select the city of Amiens. While Amiens now belongs to Britain, it has to be assimilated before... There were arquebusiers garrisoned in the French barracks. Select your units and right-click the French troops to attack. The display in the bottom left shows how long until Amiens is completely under our control. When you capture a city, you gain ownership of any non-military buildings near the city, but you will not be able to use them until a Congratulations! You defeated the French attempt to reclaim Amiens. Notice the library has changed from blue to red, indicating it is now under British control. Military buildings like the barracks and stable remain under French control, but are easier to destroy because they are stranded in your territory. Good. We've destroyed all the French troops and buildings around Amiens. We can focus on repairing the city and gathering resources. A few enlightened French citizens have become sympathetic to our cause and have volunteered to aid our rightful claim to the French throne. They have agreed to help us rebuild Amiens to its former glory. Good. While the citizens are repairing Amiens, let's discuss how we can gather resources to build more troops and buildings. Our resources are displayed in the upper left part of the screen. From top to bottom, they are food, timber, metal, wealth, and knowledge. The number on the left shows how much of a resource you have. You have approximately 300 food. The number on the right shows our income level of each resource. Right now, we have very little food income. To get food, we must direct our citizens to build farms. The next step is to learn how to gather timber, but I see you already have a woodcutter's camp built. You're a fast learner, but there are a few things you should know. Select your woodcutter's camp. In the bottom right corner is a display of citizens working at the woodcutter's camp. The empty faces show how many more citizens can be assigned to the camp. Each assigned citizen generates an additional plus 10 timber income. Well done! Each mountain can support one mine. The bigger the mountain, the more citizens can work at that mine. Let's train more citizens at our city and have them start gathering resources. To find an idle citizen to build a mine, click the Idle Citizen button near the mini-map. An idle citizen will be selected, and you can instruct that citizen to build a mine. Now let's build more citizens who can gather more resources or construct new buildings. To create 2 more citizens, select your city, then click the Create Citizen button twice. You now have more Good. Feel free to build more citizens and assign them to gather more resources. We've started gathering resources. It's time to build up our army to attack Compiègne. The French still have a sizable army of gunpowder troops guarding the city. To defeat them, we'll need to exploit their dependence on their new weaponry. The French have been training only arquebusiers to defend Compiègne, so they lack a diverse set of units to defend against any kind of attack. Heavy cavalry have a decided advantage against gunpowder troops. We could build a large number of knights and press the advantage. Watch out for enemy pikemen who would make quick work of our knights. Let's build 6 knights at the stables to prepare for the attack. To support we don't want to engage the French before preparations are complete. Move your units back toward Amiens until we're ready to attack. It seems you're eager to battle, ready or not. Defeat the French army and capture Compiègne. If you lose your units, remember to build more at the barracks, stable, and siege factory to continue the battle. The French have realized their mistake and are marching in a force of elite pikemen to defeat our knights. Our knights are vulnerable to these units and will be routed if we are not careful. Select all your knights by double-clicking them and move them back to Amiens. Once your knights are away, select all your longbowmen and have them attack the pikemen. Our unique unit should make quick work of the pikemen. The French army has been routed. Now that the French army is defeated, have your troops attack Compiègne. Compiègne has been reduced. Now you need to direct your foot units to capture the city. You have taken Compiègne and defeated the French army. This is a tremendous victory for England. I have a sense that you will do great things. In 1509, following a century of turmoil, England has stabilized under the Scottish, led by King James IV, have invaded northern England and captured a number of strongholds. The English army is marching north to face them, but for the time being, English citizens must fend for themselves. We must defend against the Scottish raids and prevent Winchester from falling under the rule of King James. Protect your citizens or they'll be killed by the Scottish. You don't have any military units nearby and don't have time to train any, so we'll have to sound the alarm, which will bring our citizens to safety within the city. Now, good job. Citizens near the city will run to the nearest city, fort, or tower for safety. The citizens in hiding will fire arrows at their attackers. The Scots have had enough and are retreating. I think we are safe for a while, so we can send our citizens back to work. Select your city again. Leicester is heavily fortified, and we don't have the units available for a siege. Your little scouting mission has been found out by the Scottish. No more time for preparations. Ready or not, here they come. Congratulations. We have defeated the Scottish attack and survived against all odds. The First World War has left Europe decimated and bankrupt. In Germany, domestic upheavals trigger the rise of extreme nationalism. After years of giving in to German demands, it is clear to England that their policy of appeasement has failed. Germany has invaded Poland and declared war on the free world. England can no longer watch passively while the free countries of Europe are conquered. We must declare war on the Germans and establish an alliance with the French. Click the diplomacy button in the bottom right corner of the screen. We have successfully negotiated an alliance with the French. Now we must put our agreement into action. Now we have an alliance with the French. Among other advantages, alliances allow their members to share line of sight. Members of an alliance can move into each other's territory without penalty and can set trade routes between our cities. The German attack on Paris is imminent. The French desperately need our help, so we will send reinforcements. Our troops are in place near Dover for the fight. To increase the effectiveness of our units, we should have a general nearby. Generals are created in fortifications, like the redoubt. Create a general at your redoubt. Excellent work. We have defeated the Germans in the Battle of Britain. The liberation of Europe will be difficult, but I'm sure we will prevail.